Welcome to Judge My Round with Tom Brennan. Let's get started. Alright, Karen, we're going to get started with your video. This is my first time watching it. Watch your horse. What I know of it, it's a green horse, and it looks like you're getting ready to show him, or her, excuse me, in a baby green or some similar division. Obviously a horse show venue that I'm familiar with. And for this round, I'll just give you my first impressions from a judging point of view. I love the confident beginning, especially for a division of young green horses. Sometimes you have an abundance of caution at the first jump in those divisions. It's nice to see someone really march down there. I don't see any sort of spook or concern on the horse's part. That right there usually is enough to make you competitive in a division like this. I'll often forgive details and look for the big picture. What's a horse that shows potential that's going to do well in our sport down the road? All in all, so far it's a very smooth trip, indicative of your riding style. The horse looks happy and comfortable. I'm assuming we're coming to the last line. I would start thinking about a score or placing if I were judging. Being division appropriate is key here, and I would want to reward a lot of that. Was a good jump. That was the first time she used her left leg really well. I would really want to reward as much of that as I can. It's really nice. I think from a judging point of view, there's nothing wrong with that being in the low 80s for this division. So now that we've had the chance to see you around the way a judge would, with only one opportunity to make a decision, let's take a moment to go back and see what can be done to maybe improve your score or your results at your next horse show. We're going to go through the video again, maybe a little slower, and take a few minutes to look at specific things as they come up.
Sam's out, pointing out.
From the beginning, I like the entrance. The trot to canter transition is a little awkward. Horse gets a little distracted. But it's totally appropriate for this stage of the game and this division. Even in other divisions, I wouldn't take off for it. It just doesn't look totally relaxed. On the contrary, she's very relaxed to the first jump. Now I'm going to back that up for a moment. We're going to watch the first jump one more time. And this is something I saw a couple of times in your round that I think will get you a better score. Once in a while, the horse gets too low and a little behind your bit, and then in an effort to correct that, right in front of the jump, she juts her nose upwards to try to shift some weight back to her hind legs. She has good instincts and knows she doesn't want to jump off her front end. But I think if we could get that to where it isn't a change at the jump and it's a frame that you maintain all the way around, you're going to get better jumping efforts out of your horse and probably a better score too. As you're coasting, she gets a little lower, she sights in, and then you can see her pick up. We're going to get another view of it. I think it was jump 5, maybe 6. Riding away, she does go left in order to land right. She's a little right-handed. Again, I wouldn't take off in this division for it, but you're going to want to work on straightening her out so that you can meet the second jump of the line as well as you meet the first. You're earning a lot of points for accuracy and presentation. It looks easy, it looks fun to ride. Right there, your horse did that setup again. But you don't want to lose any points because you were far away from the oxer and she had to flatten out. There's her nose. You got a good view of it that time. Let's go. There you see your posture change. She's got the right idea, actually. She's trying to break up the moment where you and she are leaning on each other so that she can jump a better jump. Now here she comes to that jump into that line with a little bit of a higher headset. and you get a much better jump for it. Let's watch that again. There you go. And we're going to do that one more time. Now before we come to it, I want you to watch a few things. Around the turn and to the line, your horse's head is up and a little lighter. Not inverted, but just an elevated front end, and you get your best jump of the course on the way into that line. Now she also lands left, which isn't her most comfortable thing, and so you end up a little bit shy on the out. When I say shy, I mean you're not quite at the jump when she has to jump it. You'd like to get a little closer, and as a result you get a little bit of a flatter effort on the way out, but that'll come with time. If you compare her head carriage here to the beginning of the course, it's quite different. It's a really good lead changer, and that goes well. At the end here, there's a moment where you can see the slack in your reins. I think that's always a nice presentation at the end of a course. I would keep that up, and maybe there are moments on course where you can do it and give your horse just a little bit of showmanship points for the judge. Make it look easy. So to recap, you're off to a great start. There are a few things that I really like. The horse is presented in a consistent pace, she's well turned out, she looks like a hunter, you guys suit each other. Suitability goes a long way in any division in my mind. But a few things you can do to create some better jumping efforts will get you better scores in the show ring. We've talked about getting your horse off the forehand, having her a little straighter. Those are things that sound simple, and over time in her training and working with your trainer in your program, I think she's going to do really well for you. But let's take a minute to address a few of your questions. You had asked, what do I do when she gets behind the bit or overreacts to my leg and upset when I sit? The obvious answers are to check her out physically, work with your veterinarian and your trainer who knows the horse better, but some of the things that have helped me with horses over the years is to really spend time flatting them in different environments to get them used to leg. You can't avoid the scenario. I've had a lot of luck with softer bits, changing bits, different scenarios, out riding out through the country in different terrain, all things that make them find their own balance instead of giving them a chance to lean on me. Another exercise that can help this, and can also help with your second question, which is how do I keep her straight when I'm not finding her very rideable, is turning over small cavaletti, raised jumps, circles of exercises, and forcing her to find her balance. These types of activities and calisthenics will also get her straighter, but some of that is just a young horse growing and developing and trying to set good habits with guide rails and various gymnastics. So often the answer to all of our problems jumping is better flat work, more flat work. I'm going to include a link at the end here that'll show you a video I find really useful when I'm trying to think about it. This video is from a really good dressage rider named Catherine Haddad-Staller that I've met over the years here and there, and I think she's very useful. She has a lot of online tutorials. I'll figure out a way to get that to you. Maybe the best way will just be for me to email it back to you. Finally, your third question is it possible for someone to go blind when they ride in 2-point? I can't see anything and it's freaking me out. Absolutely. It's really important that we all modify sound principles of riding to suit our own fundamental tendencies. And you're going to have to mesh what's competitive and useful with what your horse likes and what's comfortable for you. This is totally normal in any style of riding. You work within the parameters of tradition and proven effective techniques, but you have to modify them to make them work for you day to day. You're sitting on the expert. Your horse is going to tell you whether it's working or not. I hope you found this useful. Please reach out if you have any follow-up questions. And I really appreciate the opportunity to judge your round. See you soon, Karen.